Okay,
Hi.
we are on. Can we move my cursor because it's right in my face and be picking my nose the whole time? Good.
Sure.
It's a hand, so it's like it looks like it's doing this. My name
Oh.
is Cassidy, and I am back. I have been taking a little bit of a break for a few reasons. One, we moved, as you can see, we're in a new studio, and also because we're trying to figure out how to record some of these a little bit more easily and sort of on our own so we can get more and more done of them. And so Mark is joining me and we're going to be doing this together. We invited our friend Liz.
Hi.
Liz,
so happy to be here.
Writer and RN and my childhood friend and my girl who loves to come in and give us updates on the dating scene currently. And the reason why we wanted to talk is because we haven't really talked. And some of the reason too is that I lost my Facebook account.
Oh.
So the thing is, some people are like, who cares? Well, that was kind of where.
Like your music account or like your
I
personal?
lost all of it. Not only did I lose all of it, but I can't even get on to complain that I've been hacked because every time I even try to go near Facebook, they're like, you're banned. And I'm like, why? Because too many pictures of my dog? Like I seriously didn't do anything. So, but the thing is, somebody hacked me and somebody is continuing to post really bizarre videos on
Oh, actually, I did see that last night.
like somebody whisking an egg. Like, I don't know what it is. It's completely bizarre. And and I'm like horrified. People are texting me like, what are you posting? I'm like, it's not me. And like Facebook keeps saying, no, you're disabled. There's no account. I'm like, no, not only is there an account, but I've been hacked and my credit card information is on that.
Oh God.
Dude, it's the worst.
How can I help?
There's nothing you can do.
You can just, all right, so actually what you can do is constantly just report all of the videos that are being posted.
And I could complain to Facebook, right? And say my
Yes.
friend, yeah.
So
You
it actually
can,
doesn't
but
work.
you'll be,
I tried.
it sucks because you are, there's not a person. Like how this guy has such a huge company and there's not one human that will even email you on Facebook. Like I feel like I have to go to the offices in New York City, like and knock on somebody's door and be like, hey, like I know that
And nobody's there.
you're the accountant, but can you help me with this shit that's going on with my fuck? But this is my whole business. So basically I wasn't also doing them because I was doing Facebook Lives for the
Yeah, that's right.
and that's how people were knowing about them. And so I have a new Instagram account, which is Cassidy_Catanzaro on Instagram.
Yes.
They allowed me to, so Instagram got booted too. So they both did because they're owned by the same company. I'm telling you, there's no recourse. So I basically had to open this other account and it's literally like, I have like 50 followers. It's Cassidy_Catanzaro. It just happened. If people want to follow me there, I would really appreciate it. But I also have my website, Happy Hour with Cassidy, and that's where people can totally find everything else. Like I kind of updated it so you can find gear and music and information and like what I'm going to be doing and just for now but if anybody is watching this and they know how to fix that, I mean, we've tried everything. We've emailed all of the things.
Everything I possibly could.
So if you know somebody who works at Facebook, will you hit me up? Because
yeah, you guys, come on. If anyone knows someone from Facebook on my page, please let me know so we can help Cass out.
I got hacked and I literally got no say. It was like, that was it. They disabled everything. And this is an account that I've been building for like 15 years.
I know.
Between the three accounts, it was almost 80,000 people.
Oh God.
I had no business. Like my business was, I don't even care. Like, listen, listen. Honey,
You'll survive.
I'll fucking
You're a
will.
gainer.
You cannot keep a wily bitch down. But what I will say is that it's upsetting and that like more than anything, it's frustrating to know you cannot talk to anybody and they've got all of your data, all of your information. A lot of you have put your credit cards on that account.
It's like someone in India is like making scrambled eggs on a
That's
video.
exactly right.
So I've been getting someone to respond back to me and they keep saying there's no suspicious activity. And I keep taking photos and screenshots and saying the person's name is Tommy Jerry. That's the person.
Tom and Jerry.
Tommy and Jerry.
I didn't even think of that picture. That's what it is.
Tomy Jerry, right?
Yeah.
So I keep saying this person is posting on behalf of Cassidy, and they're like, well, we checked the account. There's no suspicious activity.
But it's like these sort of automated answers.
Yeah,
You're not getting a
suspicious.
person.
Your Facebook. Just go figure it out. I'm telling you that I'm not posting. She doesn't have a Facebook. She can't post.
We'll end it here. But what I do want to say is that if the phone companies like Verizon can get somebody on the phone with you, Facebook should be able to. Like they're
all at home, like kicking their legs up, COVID happy,
There should be somebody available. So anyway, you have been, however, during COVID. So you're my dating friend, and I love to come to you with every question that I have, but also
I love all your questions,
but also because you have been checking out the talent during this time, which is kind of a weird time for dating, right?
Yes.
Because everybody's like, and you're not my only single friend. I have other single friends who have said to me like, back like in July where they were like, I need to have sex. Like, I don't understand like how I'm never supposed to have sex again. And I'm like, listen, I don't know what to tell you, but like, you'd be hard pressed to get me to not date like by July or August.
Yeah,
I would do it. I just know myself. But what I'm saying to her, she's afraid and she doesn't want to meet face to face. It's still very scary.
Oh, still okay.
She's in Los Angeles, so I think it's still kind of intense there.
It's definitely like a problem still.
So for a while, you were just kind of doing, like last time we talked, you were just sort of doing apps and that kind of a thing. But then you were starting to maybe flirt with the idea, like once we got like well into like the summer, maybe going and meeting with somebody or not, like with masks on. So I want to know every single thing that's been happening with you.
So I kicked it into high gear after we spoke, maybe like in July, actually. I decided, I need to like some interaction of some sort.
Yeah.
So I met this guy. I'm not going to give his name, but he lives in Mexico and New York. And I was...
Wait, how did you meet him?
On the app, The League.
The League?
Yeah, like, like Ivy League.
Oh.
I remember the one I told you is stupid.
Oh.
It's like a waiting list to get on. And stuff.
I'm not done. I'm not done. We're pausing right there. That's where we're pausing. Hold on. I'm not done.
I think I mentioned
League.
that
Wait, The League. So meaning like you can only be on this app if you went to Ivy League university, and the women that or the whatever the perspectives all know that. Yeah. Do you as well, or just the men?
No, so you don't have to go to Ivy League school. I mean, I think it started that way, but I was on a waiting list for a long time. And it's like you have to have they check your LinkedIn, they check your like accounts or something. But of course they let women in. They vote on the women.
Ivy League talent,
like an Ivy Leaguer would potentially go out with me. Actually, I was married to an Ivy Leaguer, so
of course I mean, I fancy myself. I've got a couple in my past.
I mean, honestly, they're super boring Ivy Leaguers.
Before this, but yeah, and you didn't go, did you? I guess you did too, huh? No, you went to Berkeley, which is kind of the Ivy League of music schools, yeah,
for sure.
So we digress. So
you got a leaguer.
I do. I mean, yeah, I'm in love. So, okay.
So I meet somebody, right?
So the league, they vote on you, you get in. How long did you have to wait to find out that you got in?
I actually forgot that I had applied. I want to say it was a minute. It was like a couple months.
We're going to make you sweat just a little bit.
And I was like, fuck you. Like, I don't want your dorky dudes anyway,
And who do you think you are really? But anyway, go ahead.
Well, now I think I'm really cool. But honestly, like on there, the guys all have jobs, which is a plus, right?
Yeah.
Like really good job.
Thank God.
Well, okay, this girl the other day, she was like, listen, I just want someone with a good set of teeth at the time.
But this is what I don't understand. So what do they do on their profiles? Like if they don't have good teeth, they don't just go. And then you show up.
Most of these guys do have good teeth.
They go.
Right.
And then you show up and they have really terrible teeth. Is that what happens?
I guess so.
It's kind of like
I've never had that happen.
It's kind of like the women that post pictures of themselves 40 pounds ago.
Yeah. Or like several years ago. I've never gotten catfished, but all the guys I've gone out with have gotten catfished, and they tell me about it. They're like, "Oh, you look like your photos." I'm like, "Don't people look like their photos?" I'm like, no, nope, not at all. But I guess it's better on the league. Like they
how do you do that? How do you show up to a date, right? And the woman is not the woman in the photo. And so then you go and continue to spend another 2 to 3 hours.
They don't, Mark.
A lot of them will just leave.
They're rude.
In the
They tell
beginning,
me-
in the
Yeah,
beginning,
they're rude.
they used to. In the beginning, this is what I've heard. The word on the street is in the beginning, in the early days of this, you'd show up and that would happen, and you wouldn't want to be rude, and you'd go through the whole dinner, and it was like
Right.
it started happening so much that guys now just leave. They'll literally,
Maybe they'll turn around and leave.
yeah.
Or have one drink and say, oh, I gotta go. That's what they've told me. And I'm like, wow.
Call me old-fashioned, but
Trust me.
Would you hang out? Would you hang out with the bearded lady? Like if she?
well, I think joke's on the guy, right? Like, how do you? At this point, you should always ask, hey, maybe we can video chat before we go
Yes.
out. You know, like maybe like I could see you instead of your photos.
That's
like,
actually not a bad point.
you know, I want to make sure you're real. Let's video chat. Try to talk really
I want to
quick.
make sure you're real, is what
Yeah.
you
There's also
say.
a lot
I
of-
think a woman would appreciate
No,
that.
no,
If you say, I
I
just want to
mean,
make sure you're real.
There could be a lot of like bots. I don't know. Like I haven't been.
No, you're right, Mark. Yeah. And I video chatted.
Oh, right.
That's how I found this guy in Mexico.
Okay, so he's on the league, which means what? So it means that
So,
he's got a good job.
He's got a good job
Okay.
at minimum, right?
Okay.
Hi, goosers.
She's
um,
been a heart attack. But anyway, moving on.
So cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we video chat and we like each other like instantly. There's instant chemistry. I know it sounds weird because it's not a video chat, but there is. And we were talking to each other every day, like either via text or phone or video.
Okay, curious.
Yes.
I'll stop you here. So when you do the video chats, right, you're going to meet somebody for the first time. Now, I know because I've got to get on this thing constantly.
worst.
I'm always on this thing. Not always, but at times in my life I have been. And I'm always having to be on a camera for some reason. So the panic of like what you're going to look like on camera is always a thing. But
Yeah.
the thing that's the worst part about it is like what just happened. I just bent over in front of this camera and nobody's ever told me that you can see through my yoga pants. I mean, how long have I been wearing yoga pants?
And it froze, by
The
the way.
class, and it froze on my ass and you could see straight through it. And so my point is this. You spend all of this time thinking, but then you don't realize that there's actually something that maybe you're only going to see when it's on camera. Do you know what I mean? So do you, right? So do you panic? Like, what do? Do you do like, do you check? I always check myself on FaceTime before I get on.
I do that too. I do that. FaceTime is perfect. So,
Yeah.
but this guy, he was like, let's chat now. And I'm like, oh my God. I was having my coffee. It was breakfast time. I was like, I literally just rolled out of bed. And he's like, that's the best time. Because you go to bed with a certain person, you wake up with a different person. So let's just see what you look like. I'm
Which
like,
is basically his version of I want to see if you're real.
Yeah. So I said, fuck it, because fuck it. And I had like no makeup on. I was like in my tank top and drinking my coffee. And he was like, you look fabulous. You know,
so great. What's he look like? How old is he? What's his story? Don't tell me, the things that are too personal, but like.
So he lied about his age. He said he was 51, but he's 57. Which is fine.
Okay.
I knew, right? I mean, like, you're not kidding. Like, I knew you were older, dude. Okay.
But that's the thing. Okay, so, I mean, it's hard for me to say because I lie about my age. Not to men.
I don't. I'm 49, and they're like, they don't believe me that that's me in the pictures because they look younger.
Right. And I don't lie to men that I'm dating, right, about my age. But I lie like the industry cannot handle it. And like, there's also people it's like just none of their business. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't always like throw around the number. I always tell people I'm in my 40s. I don't lie about that. Like that's true and whatever. And it doesn't matter the number. I don't need somebody like counting the years for me, man. Like,
yeah, Mark, don't you dare count the years.
I don't need anybody counting the years for me. So he lies about his age. I don't love that. What does he look like? Oh, that's a terrible pause.
No.
That is.
I just trying to picture how to.
That's a terrible pause.
No, he's cute.
He's got a horn. I'm trying to explain the horn.
Three eyes.
The horn that comes out of his forehead. I'm thinking about how to word the fact that he has a horn.
Well, you know why I feel weird talking about the way he looks is because we're in a weird spot now. And so, like, I view him differently. But when I first met him, we had such great chemistry that I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. Like, he's bald. I don't care.
No, it's fine.
And, just.
Mark's bald.
Totally, that head of hair.
Turn your head like this.
I can't.
It's starting.
No, it's not. No. He has a full head of hair.
I guess shit. She's like, you got to do something about this right now.
Do not go bald. Anyway.
Put castor oil on it.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. What is it?
My castor oil.
I'll handle it.
Handle it. Okay. Couple drops. So everything was going like
castor oil, honey.
everything was going, I want to use the word swimmingly. I don't know. Is that a word? Swimmingly?
Yes.
Swimmingly is good.
Swimmingly. And, he comes back to New York. We went out. It was great.
So what's happening? So at this point, how long are you talking? So you're talking
7 or 8 weeks.
Okay. So, and it's like, what is it like? Is it like an everyday, like, let's meet at
Every
5
day.
and have a drink together? Or is it just random? Is it a lot? Does it feel like?
It feels like we're like in a semi-relationship at that point.
What's appropriate though? Like for people who are watching who are like, okay, listen, I've never done this before, but I'm newly single because my husband and I broke up during COVID.
Yeah.
And now I'm single and like, I want to do this a little bit, but I don't know how to do it. What's appropriate? So you get on the thing and maybe the first conversation should be whatever it is, whatever feels natural. Mm-hmm. Do you start talking right away every day?
Here's the thing. I would, not every day, but like with this guy I did just because we hit it off. What I would do if you're new to this or even questioning it is for sure do a video chat. I know nobody wants to do it and they're super weird. They're super weird. You got to do it because
I would definitely do it.
Right? Nowadays, you have to handle like a makeout session or unmasked as if you're fucking the guy.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's that much of a risk. So you have to be selective. Like, okay, do I like this guy that much that I'm going to go risk my life?
We also have been saying that.
How bad do I need to get laid? Is it worth? But listen, this was the question posed to people too. Like when we were growing up, HIV and AIDS were really serious in the gay community. It was horrible what was going on, but it trickled into the suburbs and kids, like even if you were like in sex ed at like 14, they were teaching you about it and like scaring the living shit. Now you have to just keep in perspective. We were living in a small little town, like of very sheltered kids up buried in a mountain, like, an hour and a half.
You're making it sound like we live in the Appalachian Mountains.
No, but what I'm saying is the chances of people running around with AIDS in our high school.
Right, were rare.
Come on. I don't think it ever happened.
I never had sex in high school anyway.
Me either, but I'm saying they taught us like AIDS.
Look at her smile.
Like we could get it.
Oh, her, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Well, anyway, yeah. So now kissing or meeting up with someone is
that.
It's like that.
Well, it's not like AIDS, but okay.
Well, it's not like AIDS. No. But you know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. Our friend Anna.
Yeah.
When we had gone to see Cassidy perform and Mark, she was like, oh, tell me everything about dating. And I was like telling her, she's like, so you're just like meeting guys? I go, yeah. And she's like, no mask. And I'm like, no mask.
Here's what's great. You're the nurse and the compromised immune system. And it's Anna that's scared.
I know. I was like, pick one or two, like make it a small group of guys.
I don't know, guys. I mean, listen, I'm not a COVID person. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just saying that, like, how you're not going to live your life? What are you going to do? You got to live your life. It's like, I don't know.
Listen, do you want me suicidal, like laying here by myself?
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
No.
So this guy, so you start talking to him, not right away every day, but then it started.
No, right away, every day with him. Right away. Every day. Every single day.
And how much is he like telling you about himself? Is he like
a lot?
Does he have kids?
He has 3 kids. One of them doesn't talk to him anymore, which should have been a red flag,
I know somebody like that. Yeah.
It's no bueno.
No.
Good.
Not good. So
your kids.
Thank you for translating that, Mark.
No, when your kids don't.
I got you.
I needed to have him here. It was very important so that I understood the conversation.
Yeah. For your non-Spanish speakers, that meant not good.
Mark's got you.
I love you.
I know. Wait, what I was going to say is, like the thing is, it's one thing to not talk, not to make excuses. You don't want to not talk to anybody in your family, but if you don't talk to your parents, it's one thing, but like if kids are not talking to you, I just think maybe you look at
Something's
it.
wrong.
Yeah.
Something's definitely wrong. But I was like, he explained it a little bit and I was like, okay, it seems a little bit, I wouldn't have done that. I'm not going to give his, whatever away, but.
Did he try to tell you what happened or did he just?
He did tell me what happened and I think his reaction is completely insane.
Like disproportionate.
Totally disproportionate.
Yeah. I am familiar with such things. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And later on in this story, he's disproportionately angry at me again. So, or at me.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have questions.
No, it's okay. Ask questions.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. If him and the other guy that there was a Mexican triangle, if they watch this, they will literally maybe send someone to slice my head off because we're at that point with them.
Okay. A veritable triangle is what she's calling it of men from Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how I end up with Mexicans all the time, but
you like Latin lovers.
I like a little flavor.
I get it.
I told myself I would never date a singer again, and
here you are.
Here we are.
Living with her too, Mark, by the way.
We're a special breed.
You guys are. You're super cute though.
I always love that line from First Wives Club when Bette Midler says to Goldie Hawn, "You have no feelings," and she goes, "I have no feelings. I'm an actress. I have all of them."
Okay.
I have all of them.
All of them are superficial, but
that's what
there.
it's like to be with a singer, probably too.
Right. You know, you gotta take the narcissistic traits and just put them aside.
Yeah, I don't have that.
No.
I don't. So I don't. So I mean, I'm crazy, but I'm not narcissistic. So anyway, the guy. So you're talking to the guy, and now is this the only one you're talking to at this point?
Yeah, I would answer a few guys, but I was like I just felt like I was dating him, and he felt the same. Okay. So then we get to New York.
Felt like you were dating.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's in Mexico.
The whole time he's in Mexico, and I was going to fly out there, but my passport was expired.
Did he? Okay, this is where I get did he send you anything? I don't know, while you were dating and planning on going to Mexico, did he send you flowers? Did he surprise you?
He sent me a picture of his paella. Literally. I knew what you think. I was going to say.
Was it a big paella?
It was a big paella. Here's the thing, and you think I'm not being literal. The new dick pic is paellas. I've gotten 3 paella pictures.
Have you?
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
The new dick pic is paellas.
Seriously? Or
No, I'm not joking. Literal paellas.
What the fuck is wrong with men? I swear to God, man, this is so
They all make
fucked up.
paella. They want to show her they can cook.
Here's the thing that I learned after the first paella. The first paella that was sent, the guy tried to explain to me what it was, and I go, I know what paella is, dude.
Let's put it this way.
He was not.
We're all good in the paella department in my house.
Okay. Maybe you would send
But I'm the only one who cooks.
Okay, well then maybe you would send a paella picture.
I don't know, man. All I know is that I'm trying to, okay, so this is where I get
it's better than a dick.
But this is where this is where I get fucked up.
Yeah.
This is where I get fucked up. Did you hear that my friend Annie, she had a guy just send her, we talked about it on the podcast. My friend Annie she had a guy just send her a dick pic in the first.
Yes. Yes.
So
I'm I hear you, honey.
I'm like, what? So here's where I get lost. I connected when we met, Mark and we connected so much, but we were in person. We were across the table from each other. It was obviously pre-COVID. We were on a tour together. So there were certain things that because we were both working for the same producer, there's a certain vetting process that you already know has taken place. Some of the girls that I was with in my cast knew him from other shows. So there's a little bit of okay, he's not a axe murderer. There's no terrible drug problem. He seems to be, these girls have been out on the road with him. He seems normal enough. So there's a little bit of a vetting that goes on because of that. True. But we didn't know each other, and we were all the way in Michigan. I
hate that state, but. Yeah,
I know you do.
It's a pretty weird state.
Yeah, one of the guys that I just was recently dating is from Michigan too. He's a weird guy. So my point is this.
Recently dating?
Well, my most recent one from Mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't mean recently. He wasn't one from a million years ago. He was the one right before Mark.
Mark, God bless you.
No. That's what I'm saying. I mean, recently, listen, when you're my age, it's there could have been a guy, from the 90s that I dated.
Okay, thank you. And that's a good point for my story later on.
Okay.
We
So
all
what I was
have
going to
baggage.
say is like, I would have a question is that like he wanted, so the way that we ended up like hooking up was he wanted me to come back to his room.
Mhm.
You to chime in? Mark is checking out.
Well, no,
Mark's like this.
I'm just, why would I butt in on your show?
Lady
No,
talk.
you can.
I would love for you to butt in.
We need you to be
so-
involved.
Yeah, so I invited her to my room. She
Obviously.
said that I followed her up, but we both ate dinner and finished dinner at
And
the same
nobody else
time.
from the table left except for me, and then he got up.
Yeah, so I was like, it's late. I'm gonna go back to my room. So in the elevator, I was like, I got a gift from the symphony, and they gave me a bottle of wine.
We all got gifts.
So I can't bring it on the airplane, right? So I was like, well, I don't want to waste this perfectly good bottle of wine. Might as well invite this pretty thing over my room, right? Totally professional. This is work, no
Right,
fucking
that's
around,
nice.
all right?
He's trying to schmooze.
Yeah,
Right.
this is networking.
He wants
right?
to see how I can help him.
So I asked her, she's like, hey, Cass, would you like to come back and, kill this bottle of wine with me? And she said, no.
You know what?
So
I
then,
can't.
you know what? I asked again.
No.
And I said,
Like you mean like within a couple minutes or like?
I go like this. He goes, you want to come back to the room and finish that bottle of wine? Because we had all gone. The whole cast had gone to his room before dinner.
I get it. Okay.
Everybody. And there was a suite. So it was like, I'm at a table somewhere in his suite drinking with everybody else. But then we all go to dinner. It's huge. The producers are there.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that again.
So then we're like going to go back now and now we're alone and so it's different now. It's like, do you want to come back to my room and finish that bottle of wine? And I was like, I don't think
Absolutely.
so. No, I was
That's
like,
what I would say.
yeah, right. And therein lies, right. So, okay. But like psychologically speaking, I got the guy.
You did get the guy. So wait, what happened? So you didn't go.
Well, no, I went to his room and I fucked him. No, I'm just kidding. I did not.
no, I don't. No fucking on the job.
We don't. And that's the truth. I swear to God. I went back to his room. We finished the bottle. We sat across from a table and like laughed and like enjoyed each other and actually had a lot in common. And I was very struck by, and it's this thing that I love about you still, how kind he was. Just how like, like genuinely nice he was and like genuinely interested and like, and engaged in the conversation. You could tell that he was good, he obviously liked women. There wasn't this like, I'm trying to just get you in my bedroom vibe. He obviously liked women. Like,
you mean like instead of men?
Meaning talking to them. A lot of guys don't.
I had to ask Mark. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what?
You're a musician and all. Like maybe you like swing both ways.
I recently had a friend who came out and told us that he goes both ways now, and there's just no restrictions on what he tells us anymore.
Well, you know what's great about swinging both ways is everybody's an option. I wish I swung both ways.
Yeah.
Because then I would have even double the amount of dates.
Yeah. You know what? I was with
that might be too overwhelming for me.
No, but I was with a woman and I'll never do it again. Not because my girls are like my friends and I love my girls as friends, but that was it was almost like a college fling that should have just been a fling that girls have. And it was experimentation, but it ended up being longer than it should have.
It was kind of wild though. So she was in my room. You were there. Like we had a 5 a.m. flight.
Ugh, the worst.
So she was in my room till probably like 3 in the morning. I slept for like maybe 45 minutes. I had to wake up.
Oh God.
But that was kind of it, and then
you were together.
Kind of. I mean, I invited myself to her house the following weekend. So I want to hang out. Yeah.
That's adorable. And you know what? You're a man that knows what you want, and you know how fucking sexy that is.
Dude,
I'm meeting guys and they're like almost 60 and they don't know what they want.
Well, and this is the problem, and this is the other thing that I loved about Mark is that whether he was overwhelmed or intimidated, he didn't let it show, and he didn't let any kind of fear like that stop him. But he also understood that he wasn't going to get the girl if he wasn't assertive, because I was older than him, and I was kind of definitely not to be trifled with on any level. And I think he could tell, but he was great and he was super sweet. And like you said, he was very forthright. I invited him to something really right away. I invited him to go to a Easter dinner at my aunt's house, immediately.
That's horrible.
And it was fun because it was fun cousins on my side. Okay. But it was,
like a horror show.
No, it would be if it was my family. He met my family later. I don't spring my family on the people that I'm with, my immediate family.
Me neither.
I wait, but with him, I really kind of couldn't because I was living, in the hometown. So it was hard. And so he got like a big fat dose like immediately. And I was like,
and you're still there, Mark.
No, we're out though. That's it. Somebody had to go. It was going to either be me or them. And for me, it was like, bye. Like he doesn't know from that kind of crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? He shouldn't be subjected to that shit. And I told him, like, you and I are very similar. Just because we know how to be in a batshit situation doesn't mean we should be. Do you know what I mean?
Or no, I don't want to. It's just like chaos becomes comfortable. Like I understand violence. I understand chaos.
Yep. It's familiar.
It's also like, I was talking to my really good friend and he's Indian. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to like tell him a story of some craziness that happened in her four walls. And he just goes, fucking white people, man. Like
white people are crazy, man. That's what he said.
They are crazy. I've had Bollywood fever for a long time.
Yeah. What? Yeah. This friend that he's talking about is adorable.
Is he hot and single?
He's not single, but he's hot.
Not single.
And he's super talented and he's super lovely. So anyway, I have to know more. So we're going down paths, but I want you to be involved. I want you to ask questions. That's why we have you here. So Liz, tell us more about what happened.
So finally he gets to New York and I'm super excited and I go in and obviously I park my car, I get out and he happens to be coming out of his building. We both have like surgical masks on and he's like, hey, and like we immediately took it off and like just,
Yeah.
And then we went across the street. There was like a pizza place, like a nice Italian pizza place, but you have to sit outside, right? Still in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So we sat outside and it starts to rain. And I'm like, oh Lord, because I'm trying to be like a good girl, which is really hard.
Oh, because now you're going to have to go indoors and your clothes fall off when you go indoors. You have this.
They automatically
You have a condition where, and the thing that you didn't explain, probably.
Yeah, there's a condition.
Is that
I don't know,
when you go inside, your clothes fall off. I've seen it happen. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really dangerous.
Poor baby. So you were concerned about that, clearly.
Like I was like, please, oh man. I'm like, it's just sprinkling. He's like, it's pretty much downpouring. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'll just go. And he's like, no, I live right across the street. Come over, we'll eat dinner. I was like, okay. And he said he wasn't a drinker. And also like, he's opening like the best bottle of like Spanish wine.
So I need to know what the apartment looked like.
Gorgeous.
Really?
Gorgeous. So I said to him, oh, I guess your ex.
What neighborhood? Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
no.
Like right on Battery, like West Street, right on Battery Park, off, the view of the water.
I lived down there. I loved it down there. I lived on John Street.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Loved it.
Beautiful. I mean, like really nice apartment, like impeccably decorated. And so I said, oh, this must be from your ex-girlfriend. She did all this. It's gorgeous. And he's like, I'll have you know, I'm an award-winning designer.
Of course you are.
I go, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, wow, like congratulations.
I'll have you know. I'll have you know.
Yeah,
I stomped the grapes for this wine.
Yeah.
I blew the glass for that wine goblet.
Yeah, everything that like could possibly happen, like he created or invented. You know what I mean?
He sounds delicious.
You know how I do. I know, and I love it. I'm like, oh my god, it's so gross that I love it so much.
I know, but that's
Mark is fucking yawning.
I have a thing where I'm like, I get
goodbye,
and I'm not yawning at you. I just always get.
I cannot believe you just yawned during the funniest moment of our podcast. Out. No, take off your headphones and go.
No. I enjoy this story because first of all, I think.
Did you just yawn on camera?
No, you were like this, Cass, like it.
Oh my god, Mark.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. But
you did it during the funniest portion.
The board.
Oh, there's more to come.
No, but listen, this is what I'm saying about him. He's like, I want to be in it. I'm like, Mark, you're boring. And he's like, I'm not. I'm like, okay. He's like,
I just got to pick and choose my moments where I come in.
Listen, Mark, I understand. And I feel like you chime in when you feel that you have to or want to.
It's hard. It's hard to
be but just don't yawn.
Yeah, it's hard to be in a conversation with two women because you guys are there, right?
And you're like here.
And I'm just trying to like.
No, just don't.
He loses track. Cass, he's like gone. He's thinking about like, dinner and shit.
He insisted on being here.
Anyway, continue. For the man.
I'll try and make it more exciting to you. There was a bunch of like naked dancers.
Where?
I'm joking. I'm trying to make it more exciting for Mark.
Where?
Seriously. And then the woman took her clothes off and I touched
And then
her
she
tits.
started, yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
Now he's involved. Now,
Yeah,
now,
he's like, oh, wait,
now
well,
you, wait, I'm
now
sorry.
we got
What's that part about you touching
There's
her?
a lot of tits.
He touched her tits?
Oh God, speaking of tits. So we, so then we go to his couch and I was like, I should go home. But like, I'm pretty lightweight and I already had like 3 glasses of wine. And then I was like,
Accidentally.
well, he kept pouring it. You know, one of those like free pours, like you don't know what's happening.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like I didn't ask for another glass of wine. Like every time I looked at my glass, it was full. I was like, I thought I just drank that, but I mean, yeah. And like I couldn't eat because I was so embarrassed. Like I get embarrassed to eat in front of people like the first couple dates. So
Most
I had
people
like, they do, right? So I was just like a little nibbly bit.
The best is when you see like a really, really, really overweight person pretending like they don't eat.
They don't eat. Yeah, it's classic.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
They're just like trying to be polite. I'm like,
I decided to watch my figure this week.
No, yeah, like mine is like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so fucking nervous and insecure that I can't physically eat or I'm gonna
me
throw
too.
up.
Like if there's something on my face or in my tooth, I will never get over it.
I never. I still think back on things.
My nose is running. Sorry. So
he goes, I go, you know what? I should stop drinking because I have to drive home. And he's like, I want you to stay. I'm like, okay. Literally that easy. Like there was no.
All right, Liz, here's the
There was no.
You gotta at least do the one obligatory no. Like
Well,
there's gotta be like
this.
a,
I think I went like.
So we recently have a friend who broke up with her boyfriend, who I don't think she thought he would leave. I think she thought she'd break up with him and he would like beg to stay, but she broke up with him and he was like
out.
Yeah. So, and she was shocked. And I just keep saying, it's like, there's 2 things you should do to do this. You should never test a guy unless you're really ready for him to leave.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you should never, like, you should always say no the first time to see if he's going to be persistent. I'm sorry.
I mean,
now,
I agree.
I'm not necessarily doing it in a calculated way like that. Like, I'm not necessarily, like, I didn't say no to Mark because I knew he would say please, and then I would say yes.
It was like your instinct was like,
exactly.
Do you want to come kill this bottle of wine? She's like, no, before I can even get like, I was like, I actually didn't, you didn't actually mean that. So let's just try this one more time.
Because I didn't even let him, like, I was like, no. And he was like, can we?
And then you're like, okay.
Yeah, and then I was like, I'm looking at him, and like, it was almost like in my eyes, I gave him like the do not.
Right.
That's not why I'm coming back to your room. And he was like, just friends. And I'm like, okay. So we went back.
Drinking.
Like, just friends, just having a drink. I know it's going to be, my room was down the hall. And here's the thing. It's like, you don't get these jobs. Like, these jobs on the symphony are very serious. So it's like, at the first sign of somebody being like a problem,
they'll cut you.
You're out. Like, so he's clearly been hired for multiple shows already. Like, I'm only doing one of these contracts. He's got like 3. So clearly this is somebody who's reliable.
Right.
Like I said, there was a vetting process ahead of time, which is why it wasn't
I
just
vetted
like
for 7 or 8
no.
weeks.
But like this, but the thing, here's the thing. There's 2 ways to go about this for everybody. If you just want to have sex, you don't need to apologize for that. Nobody does.
I'm not apologizing.
No, and I know you're not. What I'm saying is no one needs to, and there is nobody who should make you feel bad about that. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, I happen to know you since you had your like baby, like when you had a gap because you were missing your front tooth. Like I've known
and a soft spot.
And a soft spot here and like 4 hairs on your head. I knew you, and so I know that you want to meet somebody.
Yeah. I mean, at least I think I do. Like, I do.
Maybe you don't. I mean, listen, again, you don't even have to. I didn't necessarily even know I wanted to either. So, but what I was going to say is that, like, so in your mind, I'm just curious, because this is, like, for anybody that, like, dates, in your mind at this point, when the guy says, but I want you to stay, like, are you thinking to yourself, this could be a relationship? Or are you thinking to yourself, it probably won't be if I fuck him right now, but I'm going to fuck him. I don't care. I don't need this.
It was honestly with this guy, it was a little bit of both because we had been chatting for so long. If it was someone that I had just like kind of met literally like on the dating app like a couple days earlier,
right?
Absolutely would not be a relationship. But with him, it was different because he had been open about his like attraction to me. And I don't mean just like physically, like that he liked me, he liked talking to me. I didn't go there with the intention, honestly, of having sex. Like, I was, like, going to leave. And then I didn't.
Right, but you made sure it was all tight and right, though.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like, I purposely wore
Did you
a
groom?
romper.
But
No, of course, yeah.
Because you never know. He might fall and like end up like by
Yeah.
accident.
I'm always groomed.
Face first in between your, and then what if you weren't like, what if
like
you
if there
didn't?
was like I've never had a bush. Like, let's just.
It's like a thing though again, I feel
I know,
like.
but it's not a trend I'm ever gonna. It's not. So listen, I wore a romper, a one piece intentionally, right? Because you know how my clothes fall off when I walk into a man's apartment? So this can't because it's a one piece and it's very difficult to get in and out.
Oh, that's good. So you put two like padlocks like here to keep
I had padlocks and I had like nipple covers like on Westworld, like because I couldn't wear a bra.
Good.
So it was like nipple covers.
Good.
Mark, I don't know if you know what that is. Like I have small boobs, but there's like, nipple protrusion.
Nipple protrusion.
You don't want to give him the wrong impression with the
I don't want to like be like, oh, look at your hard nipples. You want to fuck me. It's like, well, yeah, I do, but you know what I mean?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a fucking thing.
When nipples get hard, that means you're
Oh
hard?
yeah, well, not every time.
Not every time.
No.
Like when the wind blows, they get hard. But
Yeah, it could happen because your shirt's rubbing up against your boobs or that you have chills or something.
Your shirt rubbing up against nipples? Like what? That gets them hard cast? That's something new?
I don't know. Listen, I have the biggest sets. I have the biggest, like,
I just totally rose just came out of my nose.
I just feel like these things are hard. I'm wearing 2 bras right now. My boobs are so big.
I have no bra on, but this is a hard
only
shirt.
getting bigger. Even if I lose weight now, they don't get any smaller. And I know that's like, oh, poor baby. Like, it hurts. They hurt.
Perfect segue, actually, Cass.
Okay.
So after we have sex, he says to me in the dark, as he's like holding me, like spooning, he goes, oh, did you ever think about getting breast implants? Like to enlarge them?
This is a fantasy. I swear to God.
And I go like this. Like right away, I was like, no, I actually like I wanted to say, why don't you get a penile implant? And then I'll go the same time that you.
I would have said it without even. It would have come out of my mouth before he finished his sentence.
But Maureen, our friend Maureen, had kept I had dinner with her a few nights earlier, and she was like, "You just need to be sweeter." And you had said you need to be a sweet person.
You do,
and
like
nice
assholes.
So Maureen's like, "We need sweet class 102." She's like, "You don't be nice to assholes." It's the same thing. And I was like,
sweet class 102.
Yeah, I was like. So I'm like, okay, what would a normal person do in this situation? I guess they wouldn't do what I would do.
I'm gonna tell you what I would do. Because the way my brain works, my spidey senses would have scanned his whole body in 2 seconds, and I would have rapid fire like 6 things he could change about himself before he even took the next breath. I would have.
Me too, dude. I had to swallow my own fucking tongue. Okay. And I just sat there. I'm like, you know what? I like my little perky tits. And most guys I go out with, like, they know that that's what it is and they like it. I've never had a problem. And then I'm laying there. We're both quiet. And he goes, well, as long as you're happy with them. And I go, oh, you know what? Because you're Mexican, like, you're probably used to more curvy women because stereotypically, like, they're curvy. And I said, or you like low-class women where, like, their tits are just bouncing around. Like,
right, or just, like, big fake ones that strippers and, like, porn stars have.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And he goes, oh, no, my ex had a body like yours. I go, okay, good night. And then I just, like, he fell asleep, and I was, like, thinking, oh, my God.
That was your moment right there to exit, though. As soon as he fell asleep.
Why did you stay?
Well, at that point, it's late, right? And I didn't want to, like, New York City is still deserted, by the way.
Right.
And when I parked in the garage earlier, there was homeless people literally right there, like, doing stuff.
Okay, so here's the thing. Was he condescending the whole night?
Like like he wasn't condescending as much as he was like trying to show off like his finances. Ugh. And I think it's because he's insecure.
Of course he's insecure.
It's like,
and he doesn't really have a reason to.
What do you think?
I just hate it. It's like, well, check me out. All I do is work, and I have all this stuff. But like me as a human, I'm just inept to everything, you know?
Yeah, and his ex-girlfriend was 24, cool. By the way.
And he's 57.
Yeah.
I hate when older people date younger people. I just think it's so
Well,
vile.
I think it's like the only thing. It's like anytime I see that, it's like you're just in it for the money. Especially like a younger woman and an older
Yeah,
man.
of course.
Like our president, it's like you're like, really? You're like a Slovenian like supermodel, and you chose this fucking thing to fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's the part I could never do. I could never do the physical part. Like when I was young, you know what I mean? And like being hit on by like all these like
no, I couldn't do it either.
I couldn't do it.
fuck that.
I couldn't do it.
And there's girls who can. There's girls who like listen.
There's a lot of girls.
Harvey Weinstein's wife. I think she's the perfect example. What that designer? She is like so pretty and like was with somebody best describe him as a chewed piece of gum rolled in cat hair.
This is disgusting. That's disgusting.
But she was like, she had kids with him. But
Listen.
he gave her career. If you look back, if you like know the story, he basically started putting her dresses on his leading ladies at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, maybe if I had, and here's the thing, people are like, oh, you only date a certain kind of guy. That's true. But I never date just for money at all. Never. Listen, I wouldn't be in this situation,
There's a
I liked
certain,
him.
listen, there's a certain kind of guy too. It's like you have to understand, especially when you become a certain age or you're just used to a certain lifestyle or you have your own career and you have a little bit of your own money, you don't necessarily want to be with somebody. It isn't even so much about the money. It's more just about the self-esteem that comes along with somebody who's doing what they want to be doing and doing well or has been successful. Men tend to be stronger when they feel like they can take care of themselves and they could take care of a family or whatever it is. The problem is that because there are so many women who will just fuck guys for their money, guys with money tend to be assholes.
Like this guy can get like 1 million girls. I'm sure there's he has no problem whatsoever.
Right. It's like the minute that a guy starts getting money, like they always talk about like these guys who would go to Hollywood and they'd come to town and they would have nothing to be waiting tables or whatever it was that they were doing. And they'd get their first break, whether it was a musician got a record deal or whether it was an actor got a TV show or a film. And like all of a sudden the girl that he brought with him from his hometown who was like there for him, he loved, he's like cheating on with
he's like get out of the house
with like the rich, or the
like
the
some hot
little club chicks or like the actresses or whatever, because we
were just watching a movie, right, where that happened.
Yeah, what was it?
What was that movie? Oh, the Wolf of Wall Street. That
big example.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like Wall Street guys, and so.
Yeah. But he basically like had his wife that was with him when he was broke. And then like the minute he gets money, he gets this really hot little young thing who ends up taking all of his money because she'll produce an heir and then she'll take half of everything. And
how are they so stupid that they do that?
They all do it because you know why? Oh, she has to go out, Papa.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. Mark's going to take her because they let their dick run their life.
Come on, little girl.
They do.
So what happens now? So Liz, I just got to tell you something. I love the shit out of you. You are my friend and I will always love the shit out of you. And I know that you're a grown ass woman who can take care of herself. I just don't understand how the fuck first of all, you go out with a guy who you can already tell, like, is a little bit like showing off or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how do you make that switch for yourself where you say, somebody who's kind of not the most appealing in his personality, but I'm going to fuck him and I'm going to let him feel like because for me it's this, and this is probably sick too. And I can completely like admit and cop to that. And I know that I have so much more therapy to do, but in my head, I'm like, I'll never let you one up by having me. Because you think you can have whatever you want and you can't have me. And like, that's always my headset, like my mindset. My mindset is always like, no, man, like you think you can have what you want, but you can't have me.
I could go into sexual detail right here and it would be too much on here. So I'm not going to do that. But along the lines of what you're saying is how I feel. And I do something that makes me feel
in control.
That I've taken advantage of them and they know it. I have one ex-boyfriend. I have one ex-boyfriend who still tells me, he's like, you just want me when you want sex.
And you're like, because it's a little bit of a power thing for you.
It's 100% power thing.
Entirely a power thing. So it's like you are, right. Yeah, I see.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like they may think at first like, oh, I'm getting this girl.
You're putting your finger in their butt.
100%.
Obviously, that's what you're.
And like they're like, no, don't do that. And like it's happening. You know what I mean? Like,
and then now you always know that you kind of had them like that, and
now they're questioning if they're gay or not.
Fair enough, because there is something to be said about that moment where you're just like,
yeah.
And listen, poor Mark. I can't talk about Mark, but I will talk about lovers and just say, for me, even that is like I almost can't do it because it does put a guy a lot of times in an inferior position, sexually, that it's hard for me to feel like although I enjoy and also am like up for things and I'm very open-minded sexually. I really am. Obviously I was with a woman.
Yeah, of course.
But like that's the one thing that I feel like if you want to keep the power dynamic in your relationship, it can be tough because it does start to emasculate them. But I do think it's interesting that you do it because that's the point, right?
I intentionally do it.
That's what I mean. Like, listen, you might think you're in control, but check this out. And now I completely feel in control.
And I've done that where I like get up and like, let's say the guy, I'm used to like sleeping at the guy's house or apartment, whatever.
Right.
Like in the past, what I'll do, like if he's done something that like I don't like or is being a dick, I'll have sex with him in a very different fashion than most people would probably do, and then I just get up and leave.
Now, let me ask you something. If the roles were reversed, would you be in jail?
No.
Just curious.
No. Maybe in certain states,
right?
Like in the South.
I see what you're saying. Right. Maybe like in Louisiana where the rules are a little more strict.
No, I don't ever like rape anybody. Like they come at me.
Women are. It's like the minute that a woman. I mean, this is the other thing too, right? So the Me Too thing, like, look, me 7, like, I'm not even trying to say that women, me too. I've been sexually abused a million times, assaulted, whatever. I'm fine. Thanks, everybody. But point is, this Me Too thing is interesting because I think that it's created this dynamic now where like, the lines are so blurred. So it's like now a woman can say, well, I woke up the next day and I didn't want it. I'm like mad that I did that with you and I was drunk.
Yeah. So guys need to be careful.
Because I couldn't give consent. It was assault. And it's like, okay, so then how many people have we assaulted? Because we had sex with somebody who was drunk.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
I do know what you're saying. And like
so tricky. And I just think it's like so, but what I was gonna say is like that
I wouldn't be in jail, no.
No, but the problem with the male woman dynamic is that a lot of times you get these guys that you're dating and it's almost like this thing that you're playing out. You feel in fear, I'm gonna use strong words. You understand that they're strong words. They're not. There's no nuance to these.
I get it. Yeah.
Right? There's no nuance. I understand the nuance because I know you. But let's just say, just for argument's sake.
Yeah, people watching like don't
with
think
with very simple words, I'll just say like you feel inferior in some way. So you put yourself in a position with a guy who's going to be probably already kind of somewhere inside of know that he's going to be a little bit of a dick.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be a dick and then you're going to be in control in the way that you like to be in control. And there's going to be some weird payoff for you. And it plays over and over and over again. That is so interesting.
The first time I told my therapist what I had done, I'd been with the same therapist for 13 years. And maybe it was like year 3, I finally like broke through and was telling him everything. Right. So I tell him something I did with a guy along those lines. But it was even worse than that. And he goes, oh, so you like the power, you're in a sense, you're putting them down. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm treating them like trash. Like I feel like I've been treated like trash.
Right. Because once they've humiliated you, now you have to sleep with them so that you can get your revenge.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Most guys listening to this probably don't understand that, or women necessarily. Right. Because they think every man wants to have sex with any woman, really, basically. But here's the thing. They won't understand it. I know that you get it.
I get it.
I get it. And I know the guys that I do it to 100% get it. They know exactly what happens.
Right. But it also explains the sort of lingering question that I've had as to why do you insist on sleeping with these guys who are rude to you?
Oh, yeah, that's why.
But that's why.
That's why. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I've just like completely like there's been a puzzle piece missing for me.
Mind blown.
Yeah, because I have never understood, and I think I just made this connection as I was talking to you. It's like, okay, see, here's the thing. For me, my headspace is always like, oh, you want me, don't you? Well, guess what?
You're not having me.
How's it feel to want? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great. That's how it should be.
Right. Not even, but I'm just
Mine's
saying.
like pathological.
I realized that that's the thing. And then, so I realized that there's got to be another payoff for you. And what is it? And that's it. So, God, that's so interesting. So
the
your
powerful feel I have is like, the adrenaline is.
So how did it end with this guy? So you stay the night, which I really don't get, because you could have, after you.
I couldn't have, there's no way I could have drove home.
Okay, so you were drunk. So
yeah,
you stayed.
Not drunk, but I just couldn't drive home.
Wake up the next morning, and what happens?
And like, he was like super kind and like really nice, and like made me breakfast, and back to like how we were chatting on the video chats, like just super nice, super into me, you know, and gave me a kiss goodbye, and everything was fine. And then this is like a long story, so I'm gonna make it really short. There was a few things he had said to me. I dated another Mexican finance guy, right? And
because I saw you right after that, and you said about the boobs, and we were all just like,
yeah, you guys were like, that's
what?
Fucked up. And that should have been enough for me to like walk away. But I was like, whatever, you know.
Because, and I understand it. We're used to being treated like shit.
And also, in his defense, which I have no reason to defend him, I had talked to him about maybe wanting plastic surgery on my abdomen from all the surgeries. So maybe he thought I would be open to plastic surgery. I don't know. But whatever. Obviously, he wants a chick with bigger boobs, right? That's what it boils down to.
Oh, so disgusting.
So disgusting. And like, the thing is, it's not like he didn't see me. I was wearing a tank top the first day. You know what I mean? Like a tight tank top on the video chat.
Right, but maybe he thought, and this is how men are, you know, we know somebody like this, whose husband or boyfriend like thinks you're beautiful and loves you, but is trying to fix you too.
Right. Yeah.
Is also trying to be like, well, she'd be perfect though. I'll just buy her boobs.
I'll buy her boobs. Yeah, I think that's what he was offering.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So anyway, I had dated a Mexican guy previously to the one that I'm talking about now. And when I was driving home from the city, and like that night when I saw you, the guy I was with that night started saying some stuff about his best friend. And it sounded like something I had heard before. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to describe. Like, I'm like, I feel like I've heard these stories. That's Sunday. So I left him Friday morning, right? So Sunday, I said, oh, let's video chat. And I said, I don't know why I'm about to ask you this. I said, I just have like a sixth sense and like a woman's vibe kind of thing happening. I said, do you know this man? And he goes, yeah, he's my best friend and I'm his boss. So that's the guy that I was used to fuck.
Okay.
So now I'm in a triangle. So then I called the old guy and I said, listen.
Who lives with a girlfriend now?
The old guy.
Thank you. He gave me an espresso.
Nice. So I said to the old guy a text and I said, hey, congratulations on moving in with your girlfriend. And he was like, how did you know that? And I said, one of your friends. And he goes, I think I know who it is. And I go, oh. Okay, so you know who it is. So I called him. He was like, I think it's this person. And I said, that's interesting. How would you know that? He's like, well, and he kind of like made these like deductions of, you know, and I go,
That was it. That was the end.
That was the end. And of course, because I am who I am, like, I don't let it die, you know? I'm all, fuck you. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. And like, why should this other guy be happy? He's living with his girlfriend that I didn't know about, which is another whole other level of hurt, okay? Just because we're friends, or well, I thought we were friends. Apparently we're not. So the new guy, I texted yesterday, and I was like, do you want to get coffee? He was like, no. He was like, I told you from the, like, I'm very clear that I cannot have a relationship with someone that had a relationship with a friend. And like, I did have a relationship with this other guy. So then I just said, listen.
Liz, why are you begging for him?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
I do know.
No, but you actually don't know. That's this is what I'm trying to say. And this is what I'm yell texting at you at fucking midnight. I'm yell texting. You don't know why you're doing. Okay.
Let me stop really quick.
Yeah.
Cassidy is a talk texter, so she literally says everything she's typing. So I'm in here doing my thing, and I told you, and then I'm like, what? Told you? Who are you telling?
I'm like, why do you keep calling him?
I can't help it.
You know that this, that, and the other thing. Wait, stand by, and then I'll get up. I'll have to go do something. And be like, okay, I'm back, and I'm like saying it out loud. Like he's definitely like, who the fuck are you talking to? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm talk texting.
I love that Mark knows everything.
He totally knows. So this is the
even though I didn't want to know, just by hearing through the walls, I can hear. I know everything. You know.
You're like, Liz is so stupid.
No, the thing that he thinks is, he'll say to me, he'll like, you could tell, we'll be sitting there, like he'll come home from work, or like we'll be on a weekend or whatever, like making a drink, and he'll be like, so what's Liz up to? Like he knows it's always going to be a story, you know what I mean? So like he'll definitely like want his little Liz fix, and I'm like, I'm going to be doing a thing with her. You've got to like,
you got to come in, yeah.
You got to come. He's like, can I come? And I'm like, totally, you've got to do it.
You got to tell him later about the power thing that I have.
Okay, so the power thing that she has is she likes to let the guy be mean to her so that she can get him into bed and then stick her finger in his butt and be in control of the situation, sometimes other things in his butt, and then also whatever, and then leave and make him feel like now she's got her power back. But the thing is this is why she goes out with guys who are going to be dicks to her, why she lets them be a dick to her.
Subconsciously.
Yeah, and then
I gotta stop. Just.
We've got to figure it out. Like you
don't put my finger
call
in
that therapist and tell him thank you so much.
Fine.
But Cassidy has figured me out.
Yes.
The butt stuff.
It's not always butt stuff.
But still, even just
It's
whatever
pretty much be butt stuff though.
Whatever butt stuff. What if the guy like isn't clean? Like what the?
Yeah.
You mean like poop wise?
Yeah, like
I'm not going
Liz,
down
don't do that.
Well, you could tell when you like.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, no, trust me, Mark. Not. I pulled a lot of shit out of a lot of asses as a nurse.
I thought you were gonna spit your coffee on me.
When I worked in a nursing home.
I swear I thought I was just gonna get like glasses full of espresso. Woo!
All right, let's get
not of men.
No, I mean at work because she's
I know.
So it's not a big deal to me, but I mean.
So here's the thing too, though. The dating scene must be, how's the dating scene with like, listen, if I worked in a hospital, I'd be married to a doctor in 5 minutes.
Well, I was married to a doctor.
I know.
But here's the thing. Here's another reason why I want to go out with this guy again, like to get coffee, where he's going to tell me like why he can't be with me. I can't even wait for that.
You're going to do that?
Probably. Just to like have a story, even also because like like the book I'm writing.
Right.
The first guy that I used to go out with had his own chapter, but now it added a whole mind-blowing level 4 years later. Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
You know?
Just close that door so we can't hear. Sorry, Lucy's going crazy.
That's okay.
Somebody out the sliding left door.
So here's the thing. There's another guy that I like. And for me to not be needy with him, I'll put all my attention on other guys. Even though I like the one guy.
See, now in all of this time, I didn't realize there was actually a method to the madness.
Yeah, there is.
Well, I always say to my dating girlfriends too, and I've said this to you, people have said it to me back in the day when I was dating, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Yeah, exactly.
That you have to kind of not, like if you like someone, it's best to not, like to maybe not have them be the only one.
Yes, 100%.
So that you're not fixating. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. And because I know that the instinct a lot of times is to just be like, no, but that's the only one that I like, and I don't want to be with anyone else. Dude, I watch so much. We should also, might be fun to do an episode with like watching the murder, like the women who murder their lovers' wives, or the women that like murder the girlfriend, like the rival lover. Like those stories are crazy.
They're amazing.
There was one in the South. Is it the South recently? And I'm not coming up with any of their names. I forget. But they were both doctors, and he was dating, like online dating. He had met a woman. He had been dating her for a long time. She was not a doctor, but she was whatever she was. Very pretty girl. Might have been like around like in Texas or something. And you know, she was one of those like, you know,
Barbie.
Yeah, with the makeup and the big boobs. Probably like better with the makeup Is it time?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably better looking with the makeup than without the makeup. In other words, she wasn't like a natural beauty necessarily. So he's with her for a long time, and then they break up, and then he's a doctor.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's our alarm. We wanted to just make sure we knew what time it was. So he's a doctor. He meets another doctor. She's naturally beautiful and smart and successful, has everything going for her. He falls madly in love with her. He's, by all accounts, a very nice guy, like a nice sort of normal, wants a family, like is really genuinely looking to settle down. Falls in love with this woman and marries her, or wants to marry her. I don't think they ever got through with it because the other girl like gunned her down in her parking garage or something crazy. And it was just because basically like she just didn't want to lose her golden goose or whatever.
Right. There's one about the astronaut too. 2 astronauts.
Yes.
And you know, she wore a diaper
to drive all the way over there.
I don't know why that's a key point for me.
Of course I know that. Of course I know that. Story.
Yeah.
I know all the crazy stories, man. And we should though. We should like, there's so many stories like that.
There's so many, and I watch everything on Netflix. Like,
women lose their minds. Like that's the thing is like that.
So
like,
do men, though.
Yeah.
So do men.
They do. So do men.
Men are the number one domestic abusers, and let's not forget that.
No, of course, that's true. They do something different. It's the very much like you, like because like I feel like women, like when women get, listen. I told you this because I was like with that woman for a while, like in my 20s, like if I learned anything, it was the meaning of hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I mean, I am telling you, I know what that means now.
Really?
I didn't understand it as a woman. Right. And I'm also not like a vindictive woman. It's not really it's not my vibe. It never has been. I'll tell you to go fuck yourself. And then I will ghost the shit out of you. And that's kind of how I do it.
Always go fuck yourself.
Always go fuck yourself and then ghost.
And then bedroom door closed.
And then that's it. Don't talk to me. But I never said, by the way, I've never said go fuck yourself to Mark ever.
Don't.
I wouldn't. We don't talk to each other like that. But he's kidding. But I do go into the bedroom and close the door and I am done. But when I don't like you, I will do a thing where I'm just like, fuck you. But other women, that vindictiveness where like, they don't just want to hurt you. They want to destroy you. You know what I mean? They want to see you suffer and they feel that way forever. And they're never
I've met those girls.
My brother's like that. He's not a woman, but he might as well be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
They destroy people.
Lucy wants to play with her ball.
Aww.
She's so sweet. She was sick this week. So what's happening? So you're finishing your book.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I keep re-editing the chapter summaries.
I'm doing that too. I'm doing it too. I'm like, I go back in and I'm like, because I'm changing sort of the direction of certain things. It's not going to just be about my band. It's going to be about, it's always been since like a year before the band, into the band, and then as I get out. But I'm weaving stuff from my childhood in now. So it's going to be a little bit more like, do you know, I know
here's why I behave this way.
Yeah. You know, I know this to be true. Did you see the film when you read it? You know how he's going back to his childhood, like, right? It's like that. So I go back and I sort of explain maybe why certain things trigger me. And then I'll take you back to a story.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So anyway, I know what you mean. Like it should have been done. And I'm like,
and mine is more humorous.
Right. And so you're writing about your dating.
Like originally started with like cancer, but that's just like literally just says, oh, I had cancer, yada, yada, yada. And then this is how I started dating apps and just like, the stories of the people.
Yeah. Because it's like the cancer is in the periphery now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's something that should be mentioned to people because you survived like this unbelievable thing, and it's actually you dated the whole time, which is there's something mildly hilarious about some of those stories too. Like when you were like with the feeding tube and the thing, and you're like still. Or
do I look like Princess Leia?
Yeah, like I always say that you look just like her. I'm just kidding. You do look like you have donuts. So you got the book, and you are, and so.
You got your donuts.
You got donuts.
Yeah.
Liz bought all the equipment. We're going to be doing more of these. I want to.
I want people to ask questions too. Like, if you guys have any questions about like anything
Listen,
personal.
we'll put this on. I'll put this on YouTube and just put it in the comments down below, and then we'll answer that way.
And people should know that they can find this. It's going to be on your Facebook page, but it's going to start linking. Sometimes it'll be at the Be Terrific happy hour with Cassidy, but sometimes it'll be at the Cassidy and the Music YouTube page. That's where they can also find it. Cassidy and the Music YouTube page is where it's going to live.
Okay.
And so some of them we're going to be going over there too. I think she's biting.
And we need to let people know that it's like a rated R. I mean, we're telling you now at the end.
I always do. And also, you're going to be coming up with all of the girls.
Yes. I'm so excited. I'm going to see you next weekend.
And I don't know. You never know. We might all just get like a little tipsy and want to turn on this camera. So
I think that we should. I think we should.
We might. So it could end up being really fun, but I can't wait to do that either. And I have such fun things planned for you guys, but I also want to leave it kind of open too, so that we can, I just know that because there's so many of us, we want to make reservations for certain things so that we at least have it. But
I found out I can definitely go.
Good. So Friday night.
Friday, I can definitely,
I love you, and thank you for doing this.
I love you.
And I will let you know it's gonna be on your page, and then we'll sort of put links to where else to find it. But I'm gonna see you soon. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, Mark, thanks for joining us.
I'm sure that you'll have loads of stories.
It was a pleasure, Liz.
And on behalf of app dating women everywhere.
Make sure you clean your butt.
Clean it.
Thoroughly, or else I'm not
Otherwise-
going anywhere near that shit. No.
If you want Liz to do butt stuff, you better clean it.
Isn't it embarrassing that I'm putting this on my webpage? Okay.
Who cares?
I don't care.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.